Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina, and today I have only one product for review. It is Barrister and Mann's Fougère Imperiale. I'm going to show you what's left in here. This was kindly gifted to me by Jason Rudman, or Ruds, and he passed it on to me. You can see there's only a bit left in there. I had a choice between this and the Aromatique, I believe. I chose the Imperiale because it has a beautiful, a really nice, deep fougère scent. There's layers in here. I think there's gardenia. There might be scents of mushroom in here. This smelled better to me than the other one. This had a deeper, richer, kind of woodsy, earthier scent. I think this is obviously one of the older Barrister and Mann formulas. It is a tallow-based soap, so I'll be using that for today. And I only agreed to take that soap because Jason Rudman swore that he had another untouched tub ready to go, because I didn't feel like I could just, take that tub from him. Even though he was offering it, I felt a sense of guilt. But he said it was totally cool, so I went for it, and I'm extremely glad that I did. Today's razor is going to be the Maggard Slant, which I will assemble before your very eyes. Today's blade is going to be a brand new Lord. I've done okay with these blades for the week. I have had, I don't think I've shaved more than 3 days, and I think I stopped in the middle of that one to change the blade out. I'm just putting the base plate on now. Very nice, close fit, well done. This is, in the scheme of things, a relatively cheap razor head, but still overall, quality's been quite nice. I am going to put the washer on, and then the Maggard MR5 handle, and just screw that all together nice and tight. Now, one of the nice things about this razor head that I really appreciate is no overhang. Big fan of the no overhang. Today's brush is going to be the return of another Steve Bento custom brush. This was the Wormy Cherry with the malachite insets. Still looking fantastic. Look at the size of that knot. Just humongous. Huge, as they say here. All right, I'm going to go and wet the brush through. Obviously, it's a badger, no need to soak. You can soak them if you want, but there's really no need to. Just sort of wet them through so they're wet and warm. I'm going to shake out most of the water. As you can see, there's a bit of soap sort of on the edges, on the sides there. I think Jason was providing or sort of cutting out samples for people, and very generous to do so, because this soap is not going to be made any longer. I think producing the scent was just so expensive, it just didn't make sense to do. But so in that sense, kind of a true unicorn soap, in that you just can't get it anymore. All right, I'm just loading. And because there's only a bit on the sides here, I'm just turning the brush a little bit just to try to coat as much of the brush as I can. I've been loading pretty heavy. There's really no reason to try to make this soap last forever. I only have a bit anyway. Tallow-based formula. This is not the same as the Glissant, the current Glissant base or the Reserve base. This is one of the earlier versions. I'm going to get this really well loaded, and then we're going to try to speed through this shave if we can. There we go. That looks like plenty. I'm going to put a bit of water on the brush. I'm going to wet my face again, and then start building the lather. And quickly, the soap smells really good out of the tub. A deep, earthy scent. And that scent really opens up when you begin to lather it. That's always nice, for something like this that is, in the scheme of things, relatively strongly scented. To have the scent continue to blossom when you start to lather is just a nice benefit. Yeah, as a tallow-based soap, it is producing a relatively creamy, but not overly fatty lather. And I would say definitely for, compared to the current bases, this is maybe a step behind, but still, in the scheme of things, very, very nice. I'm going to add a touch of water to that. This brush does tend to hog the lather, by the way, so that is just one of the things you have to deal with the larger badger knots, is that a lot of lather gets stuck inside the brush. There we go. nice and wet. All right, and before we get started, a quick shout out to Paul Humphreys for breaking 10,000 subscribers. Very well done. I think I'm only just a few behind you, like, I don't know, 5,000. Here we go. Quick shave with the Maggard Slant. These shaves have been, in the scheme of things, pretty good this week, I gotta say. Dealing with a return of real spring in North Carolina, and that means pollen, itchy runny nose, watery eyes. The only few downsides to the beautiful springs we get here. And that does come with a bit of extra irritation in my skin, but you just have to watch it. Surprised at how well these blades do. They're not fantastic in this razor, but they're definitely very good for the first two shaves. And then I think at that third one, I just swap it out. Very nice level of slickness to the soap. And like as I said at the beginning, it doesn't feel kind of overly dense or heavy. It just feels slick and protective. The scent is fantastic. Yeah, it's one of those things where, you realize, man, it sure would be great if other people had a chance to, experience this soap, but it's just not going to happen again. But I believe that there are plenty of other very good fougères out there to choose from. So I think this is one of those cases that rather than just be bummed about how you can't get this one, move on to the ones that you can get, because there are still plenty of excellent options out there. All right, I'm going to pull some of the lather up off the base of the brush. You can see just how nice that looks. Beautiful lather. Now I have been taking a bit easier in the shaves during the week just because my skin is a little on the sensitive side. Definitely not overshaving, trying to keep the buffing to a minimum. And that does mean that on occasion, shave is not as close as you might like, but I think it's a worthwhile trade-off, honestly. And I do find this slant it's perhaps a little bit more face feel than the X3, but overall, in terms of just quality of the shave, very nice. Well, I'm gonna watch right there. There we go. I don't think I would buy these blades again. It was a very nice gift to have included in a blade order, and certainly been fun trying them out, but compared to many other blades that do work very well for me, these would certainly fall much lower on the list. There we go. And I know that when it comes to the slant, there's always the discussion about, is this some kind of a quackery? I know there's debates about the number of degrees that the blade has to be angled or how much it has to be torqued. and maybe under certain angles, in fact, it's doing basically nothing. But the fact of the matter is that for a lot of people, psychologically or not, it doesn't really matter what the reason is for it, but they get better shaves out of them. You know, a thick, coarse, dense beard, for some people, slant just makes all the difference. And so in a lot of ways, it doesn't really matter in that case whether it's kind of a fraudulent design. I personally am not of that opinion. I think it does in fact offer some real benefits. Is it dramatically different than a straight bar razor? Well, no, maybe not, because straight bar razors give you just as good a shave in some ways, right? But some razors just work better for certain circumstances, and if you find that you are struggling with the razors you have today because you have a dense beard or kind of a complicated beard growth pattern, and other razors just aren't cutting it, or you find that you're getting razor burn because you are forcing the shaves a bit, there's really no reason not to try a slant bar razor, honestly. All right, third and final pass. Just a touch of soap in the lips there. Ugh. All right, just rinse the razor through. This will be the against the grain. Yeah, just a really nice combination of sort of razor, the soap. Just taking it easy on that side of my face. Yeah, and it's strokes like that where I feel like slant bar can make a real difference. Again, very light, no real pressure, just sort of letting the slickness of the soap allow the razor to move smoothly. It's right there, by the way, when this blade begins to fail, that's where you can really start to feel that against the grain. I think I just cut myself. Rushing, and it always happens. Yeah, a little touch right there. It's a price you pay for haste. But unfortunately, time is short today, so we'll leave it at that. A quick 3-pass shave. I'm not going to go all out today by any stretch. Got to give my skin a bit of a rest. The soap rinses. Well, it's interesting. It feels like it's rinsing clean, but there is still a slight layer of slickness there. But the fact is, actually, it is a little bit more difficult to rinse. That may just be because it's tallow based. There we go. Good enough. All right, let's towel off. Yeah, and I don't recommend rushing through your shave, by the way, but unfortunately, in those times when time is short, and today's one of those times, you do have to just kind of make your way through it quick. And in those cases, try not to cut yourself. All right, I'm going to close this out, even though I don't think I should. I should really be going for an aftershave balm, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go for a Rhapsody. And I only picked this because it was kind of at the front of the shelf. It caught my eye. I love how this smells. It is a alcohol and witch hazel based aftershave, so there's sort of a mix there. For this one, I tend to get a bit of a hit of the alcohol first, Oop. And then sort of the toning of the witch hazel. But, well, if you were thinking about trying to pair scents with the delightful fougère of the Fougère Imperiale, this is not what you're looking for, but on its own, I really like how this smells, and I do like how it feels on my face. Yeah, kind of a sweet, musky, I don't know, kind of like a nice, fruity, musky scent to it. I don't know, I just really like the scent. All right, well, I realize that we're kind of flying through this shave, and apologies for that, but like I said, time is short, so let us recap and quickly. Today's soap, the Fougère Imperiale, a very, very nicely done fougère, just a beautiful scent. I was lucky to be able to pick between the two. In fact, I was quite surprised I had an option even to have a chance to smell them, which was quite a surprise. Then to take one of these home was an even bigger surprise, so thank you again, Jason Rudman, for that opportunity. I'm glad I picked this one. It's a beautiful, deep, woodsy, earthy scent. The fougère is just absolutely gorgeous in this. I'm sorry that this is no longer available, but as I said, there are many other options out there. But if you have these tubs and you are hoarding them, I can understand why you're hoarding them. All right. Nice tallow-based soap. Let's cover the razor. Let me just rinse off the head there. The Maggard Slant on the MR5 handle. This is a very cool handle. It's heavy. It's probably the heaviest handle I think I have, other than maybe the Mongoose handle. I love the design. Very easy to hold, easy to maneuver. This slant I find, generally speaking, very easy to use. It does not work with every blade. That Lord blade is only okay. There are other blades I've used in here that I think are much better, like the Silver Blue or the Wilkinson Sword. They just make this razor head absolutely sing. And if you are purchasing one of these, then I would say enjoy, because I think you're going to get some great shaves out of it. Today's brush. What have we here? The beautiful Steve Bento. This was the Wormy Cherry with the malachite inlay, which just looks amazing. This is a giant, I think this was a Nathan Clark knot, if I'm not mistaken. Huge badger, just a fantastic knot. A bit of a lather hog, and that is sort of one of the problems people face with these larger badgers, is that it holds a lot of lather, but it also holds a lot of lather. So you just got to add a bit more water, sometimes squeeze a bit of the lather out, and just sort of help the brush really get the lather onto your face. That's it. We're done. Oh wait, no, we're not. Oh my God, what have I done? I almost forgot. You just saw this a moment ago, but here it is again. Barrister and Mann Rhapsody Alcohol and Witch Hazel based aftershave. Yes, it is an aftershave splash, and really, I mean, yeah, I really did hit myself there pretty good. Actually, not so much. Looks bad, but isn't so bad. It's a very, very nice aftershave, but really right now, strictly speaking, what I should be doing is taking care of my skin more with an aftershave balm. So maybe for next week, I'll switch from the splashes. I just love the feel of those splashes, and I love how they smell. And so I'm kind of taking one for the team there. Well, my friends, that's it. I'm going to say goodbye for this time. Thank you again so much for watching. Apologies that this one is a little bit more rushed, but what can you do? That's just how it goes. Thank you so much for your comments and questions. Of course, as always, please leave them on this video or against any previous video. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, goodbye.